welcome to today's YouTube video. It's been a little bit since an update on the lean building phase, but since we only have about 2 weeks left, figured I'd make an update. We'll do one now and one at the end. So first things first, this morning we're gonna have some easy calories because I need to up the calories. You guys will see later, a happy scale has not quite been going up, so we're trying to push calories a little bit, but also be on the safe side of like, I'll be honest, like if I don't gain a bunch of weight next 2 weeks, I'm okay with it because it makes my cut a little bit easier too. But starting off, we're gonna have 2 of these grass-fed protein bars. These are from Transparent Labs. These are a little bit higher calorie. I'll throw the, actually I'll do a full day of eating tomorrow. But yeah, these are like 280 calories each and 15 grams of protein. So definitely a little bit on the higher calorie side, more of I would say like, kind of like a snack or maybe like a semi-meal replacement bar than like a full protein bar because it doesn't quite have that 10-to-1 ratio that I like in protein bars, whereas like basically for every 10 calories you get 1 gram of protein. So an example of that is the Bear Bells protein bar. That's 200 calories and 20 grams of protein. That is a perfect ratio of 10-to-1. This one, not so much. But we're also gonna have, well, I'm also bulking, so don't quite need the perfect ratio at the moment. Also gonna have our supplements. I'll show you guys what those are. So currently in our stack, we have vitamin D because it's nice and dark out, as you can tell. It stays dark a little bit longer too. We got multivitamin, our krill oil, and allergy med. So these 4 are the current stack for AM supplements. We also have creatine, of course, our protein shake later today. And then we're gonna go ahead, have a bunch of water. So I've got this guy right here, and then go ahead and walk on our standing desk or walk on our walking pad and standing desk combo for a little bit to honestly warm up a little bit because it's a little bit cold outside too, and just get some steps in early, start the day with some movement and just make that an enjoyable process. So I think that's about it. I'm gonna have the protein bars, take the supplements, and I'm gonna go walk for a little bit. I'll see you guys before we head to the gym. Also, quick pro tip, if you have a standing desk walking pad combo, set that up the night before. So this is actually what I wake up to each morning because when I'm done working for the kind of night or for the day, I'll actually go ahead and raise the desk up and put the walking pad underneath rather than having to do that in the morning. So when I come in, really all I have to do is step on the walking pad and then go ahead and log into my computer and get right to work. So just makes things a little bit easier. I think a big thing is kind of helping having our environment help with our goals. So if my goal is to get steps and movement in the morning, the easiest thing is to, okay, all I have to do is throw my shoes on. Well, you can honestly walk barefoot. I like to throw shoes on. All I have to do is like literally change, throw my shoes on, I can start walking right away. I don't have to raise the desk, move the walking pad over, just make things as simple as possible. Similar to like packing your gym bag or setting out your clothes the night before, just makes things easier when it's gonna be harder first thing in the morning. So pro tip, get everything set up so you're ready to get steps in first thing. About 3,500 steps later, a couple client check-ins, it's time for a pre-workout snack and head to the gym. So pre-workout snack is the staple again and again, 2 rice cakes, 10 grams of peanut butter per rice cake, and 1 banana cup on top. We also have our peanut butter knife that Margo will get here in a second. But as you can see, there's no energy drink around here because I'm doing no energy drinks, just occasional coffees until the cut. So I'll feed this to Margo as I explain it. Basically, as I get leaner or when I like to cut, that's when I kind of feel like I actually need an energy drink and when they can actually be beneficial and give me a little bit of a boost. So in the meantime, while I'm getting plenty of food, plenty of energy coming into my body, I'm gonna go ahead and basically just not have an energy drink. So between now and when the cut actually starts, which will be December 1st, like I said, in 2 weeks, I'm doing occasional coffees and no energy drinks. So I'll basically save those until maybe later in the cut. I like to use them as a little bit of a boost, an appetite suppressant, as well as something kind of just tasty to sip on that's low calorie. So I'll eventually bring back maybe like the Reigns and Monsters, but hopefully probably not till maybe later in December, because I'm gonna be basically cutting from December 1st until February 7th when we go for our trip. But we'll have a couple diet breaks in there like around Christmas time and a golf trip. But aside from that, I'll be probably around, I don't know, 18 to 2,200 calories, somewhere in that range. Obviously, I'll make videos about that and full days of eating, but I'll be utilizing the caffeine towards the end, probably more so in January when we're on the cut, trying to get leaner and then need a little bit of an energy boost in the gym. But right now I've got plenty of food, plenty of energy, plenty of focus. So we're gonna be kind of taking a little bit of caffeine detox and just having our food and sleep fuel our workouts. So we're gonna go ahead down this, head to the gym. I will record the video. I'm gonna slowly work up. Today I might do a double on the bench press because I want to hit a 315 bench press real quick before we start the fat loss phase. Because I don't think I've hit 315 as a bench press without like sub 170 body weight. And right now I'm like right around 167-ish. So if I can hit a 315 bench at sub 170, that's gonna be a PR for me because I'm not as, I'll say fat, or I don't have as much fat in my body since the last time I hit it. So I'll probably do a double today. maybe 295, maybe 305, depending on how I'm feeling. And we'll go from there, finish the workout, and give you guys a physique update as well. So stay tuned for that. Just wrapped up our workout. We did end up going for the 315 single on the bench press and missed it. I was confident I was going in. I think maybe a little too confident because 295 moved really fast. So you guys will have seen that. And then I went ahead and tried for 315 and unfortunately did not hit that. But yeah, we're gonna come back hopefully with vengeance next week, hit that before we start the cut. I've just never hit it hit 315 below probably about 175 pounds of body weight. And right now I'm hovering around right around like 167 at a much leaner physique than I've ever hit it before. So that's kind of like, be like, not technically an all-time PR, but definitely like a body weight and aesthetic PR in the sense of I'm probably maybe pushing 12 to 13% body fat right now. And I probably only hit it at 15% or above. Like I said, 175, even 180 pounds, I think was the first time I ever hit it. So I just want to hit that while I'm a little bit leaner, kind of go for more of like a physique PR, as you would call it. But headed over to Happy Scale, we'll go ahead and start with just the log book. And a big thing here is I really have not been trying to push weight too much. Well, actually, scratch that. I've been trying to push calories, but the weight has just been kind of very, very slow over the last several months, which I'm okay with, right? I'm not in a rush to like go into a true bulk and like add unnecessary body fat. I want to stay lean. I really like how I look right now. Of course, we are going to cut and hopefully get down to more single digit body fat, back down to probably 8 or 9%. But right now I like how I look, I like how I feel, but there's just levels to the game, right? I can look a little bit better, I can be a little bit leaner, and it won't take too much effort. So right now you guys can see averaging right around like 167.8, 167.9, somewhere in that range. The average is slowly coming up. You can see maybe between 0 and 0.1 pounds per week. If we go over to the actual month of November, we can see we're only, the trend line is not up at all. We're only up 0.1 pounds last 18 days. One really big weight spike, but then since then, right around that kind of like 168 mark, pretty much on the dot. And then we have our 3-month view, which is like we're averaging about 166 point something, and now we're kind of around 168. So in about 3 months, only gained about 2 pounds, which honestly, like I said, I'm not mad about that at all. We can see here some ups and downs, obviously some weight spikes.
But in general, it's been a very productive and successful kind of like overall kind of gaining phase or building phase these last several months. I feel like I'm stronger. My calories up, like pushing up into like 3,000. So I can probably cut like 2,000 calories or 2,200 calories, something like that when I start my cut. Be a little more aggressive, get a little bit faster results because I'm not trying to cut an excess amount of body fat. Maybe look at maybe like an 8-week cut with Christmas, splitting it and losing maybe 15 pounds, something like that. Of course, I'll keep you guys posted on that, posting more content. Right now, yeah, I feel really good overall, but there are, like I said, there are levels to this game. I like how I look, don't get me wrong, but there's that moving goalpost, there's that proud but not satisfied mentality where I know I can lose like I said, maybe 10 to 15 pounds and be absolutely shredded and not really have too many side effects aside from just being a little bit more disciplined with my nutrition for about 8 to 10 weeks, something like that. So that's the plan going forward. Gonna head home. Already have a breakfast burrito ready and meal prep, so just gonna heat that up. I'll show you guys what that is. Add some fruit to it, of course. Yeah, feeling good. Plan is to finish this quote unquote building phase, hopefully hit 315 first single next week. If not, once again, not the end of the world. I don't really put too much into that, but I will probably be changing up my program a little bit. Just kind of been running this current program for, gosh, I think almost like a year now. It's been a very, very long time. So probably gonna make some adjustments just in the fat loss phase, just to spice things up a little bit, get me excited to get back in the gym, maybe do some dumbbell bench press. Probably keep a lot of the things the same, just maybe a couple exercise substitutions here and there. Let's head home. Time for the post-workout meal. We've got our breakfast burrito, nice and warmed up, as well as our sun gold kiwis. So we got 3 sun gold kiwis in there, loaded with micronutrients, potassium, all the good stuff. Of course, tastes amazing. And we have our breakfast burrito. One thing I did try today though, was a different reheat method. I do not recommend it. As you can see, it kind of ripped the burrito a little bit, but I saw someone recommend, like if you have frozen burritos or just any sort of meal prep burritos, to heat it in the air fryer in the foil. But as you can see here, my burrito has now been stuck. So normally I unwrap the foil, just put the burrito in the air fryer. And I tried this method because I thought it'd be, oh yeah, I can get it warmer in the middle. It did not work. So do not recommend taking it. I don't know if you would like, for them it works. So I don't know if it's like you have to rotate it more, or maybe you have to take it out and just put it on top of the foil, or how that works. But I took this directly from my fridge because it was meal prepped into the air fryer, and went ahead and air fried it for about 8 minutes. It got nice and warm, but then the burrito is sticking to the foil, so it's kind of ripping the burrito, which is less than ideal. So just keep that, excuse me. Keep that in mind. I haven't had any issues with microwaving it without the foil on, or air frying it without the foil. So I think I'm just gonna start removing the foil and go back to my old way that worked. Yeah, we're gonna down this and then get back to work. Time for our daily protein shake. You know the drill. We've got our protein shake right here. So this protein shake is gonna be 1 frozen banana, 1 cup of almond milk, going the unsweetened, the low calorie version, only 30 calories a cup. We're going with a whole 2 scoops of protein. So this is where the main protein source is coming from, 28 grams per scoop. So we're getting 56 grams just from the protein, and a little bit of peanut butter as well. Margot did lick her little bit of peanut butter. She gets peanut butter from the pre-workout snack as well as from the protein shake. She gets a little bit, so she knows whenever I open this pantry right here, which is where we keep the peanut butter, that she knows that she's gonna get some too. So put that away, and we're gonna down this protein shake, like I said, just like a midday kind of break, a little bit extra protein. I think this thing's like, with the banana and stuff, I think it ends up being like about 400 calories, but it's about 60 grams of protein. And this is pretty much something I've been having almost every day. Plus, this is when I take my creatine as well. So I got creatine monohydrate. Also, code Perez saves you 10% on all Transparent Labs products. And this video, actually, yeah, this video will be out next week. So wait until Black Friday, or I believe the 26th. Transparent Labs is gonna have a huge Black Friday sale. This is gonna be early on the November 26th. You can use code Perez for 25% off. So stay tuned for that, check that out. There'll be a link down below, but code Perez will save you 25% a little bit early on the Black Friday sale. So definitely stock up there. I will definitely be stocking up myself, as well as probably getting some gifts for my siblings to give them as well. But let's see, I think that'll wrap things up. Just a very busy day of work. I'm not really gonna be doing too much else aside from sitting at my desk, editing some videos, doing some work, writing some programs, doing client check-ins. So nothing too exciting, but we're making a new recipe for dinner. I'll be recipe testing that, and I'll show you guys whenever we have that. We got some meal prep going down for Katie and I. You can see Katie made some salmon and broccoli for hers, and I made some beef enchilada soup. This actually turned out to be a banger. 100% is going in the cookbook. Super simple to make.
Honestly, the recipe testing is going really well. There's only been a handful that did not turn out well and will not be going in the cookbook. So that's a good thing that I'm not wasting too much food or time and finding recipes that I personally would eat, really enjoy. Of course, if I don't enjoy it, it's not going in. If for whatever reason it doesn't work, hopefully I can tweak some things, because the biggest thing is a macro ratio, right? I want to make sure it's a high protein, low calorie option, but obviously it has to taste amazing and be easy to make. Those are kind of like the 4 key things I need to have in all my recipes. And then most of the time it's cost affordable. I mean, that definitely depends on where you are, but I'll be maybe working on some additions to like bring down the cost a little bit, or at least give you some rough ideas of how much certain recipes cost. But that might be an addition later on to try to get over, probably aim for probably like 160, 150, 160 recipes for the relaunch. Like I said, high protein, low calorie, easy, something that I would enjoy and I've been eating to get the physique I currently have. But we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna dive in, eat the rest of this. That's gonna be my personal dinner, and also probably have some dessert. Yeah, we'll decide on dessert after I eat that meal. Also, last thing, also been sipping on Fresca. I've been working on the meal prep. This is pretty much, well, this is the first one of the day, but pretty much my go-to diet soda as well. So probably having a lot more of these come December and January for the cut. But I sipped on one of these, well, have about half left while I was doing some meal prep. So that's included. Dinner is down and dessert is going to be, where is it? There we go. The Oreo ice cream bar. This bad boy right here, 180 calories. It is amazing. If you have not tried this, please do. I found this during like a cheat day, probably about maybe 2 years ago now, a year and a half, 2 years ago, something like that. And it's absolutely delicious. So this can be our sweet treat of the night, our dessert. And that's pretty much a wrap on the day. A lot of work, so nothing too crazy. Aside from me failing my 315 bench this morning, but a good workout nonetheless, feeling good, ready to cut here in about 2 weeks. And I also did close my ring. You can see at the bottom there is, well, it's not a full ring, it's just like the bottom. I hit my 10,000 steps for the day, so we're good there. Probably gonna, eat this, do some dishes, shower, maybe watch a little bit of a show or movie with Katie, and we'll head to bed. So that's a wrap on the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. See you guys next time. Peace.